Hello there! In this tutorial, you'll learn how to rig a bipedal character from start to finish using Arise rigging system. This unique system employs a node-based approach that's both intuitive and user-friendly. In no time, you'll discover how easy it is to create advanced rigs. Before we begin, I highly recommend watching Arise rigging system Basics Parts 1 and 2. This will take you just 6 minutes and will help you grasp the fundamentals. We'll start by preparing the character model. For rigging, we'll then proceed to create a bipedal preset, adjust its guides to match the character's proportions, refine control sizes, and finally bind the mesh to the rig. So, let's jump right in. Whether you've received the model from a studio's modeling department or crafted it yourself, it's important to check it for potential issues. To get started, bring in only the models along with their materials and textures into a Maya scene. The model validation interface is divided into 3 sections. The top section is a must-pass to ensure compatibility with Arise, the middle section highlights issues that can be fixed, and the third section points out potential concerns you should be aware of. To run all checks, simply click the arrow button. Let's start by addressing unique names and freeze transformations. For detailed information about each check, you can click the double arrows. All checks allow you to select the nodes or components that need fixing. Most checks also offer you an auto-fix button, which you may or may not choose to use. In the middle section, Arise alerts us about extra nodes that may not belong in the model scene. When you click Select, Arise also prints to the script editor the nodes it has found. If you indeed don't need them, you can simply press Fix. The checks in the third section draw attention to potential problems. For instance, many meshes will have border edges that are intentional, but it is a good idea to inspect them and ensure there are no hidden topology issues. With these adjustments, your model is ready for rigging. Save it to a separate file and create a new scene, which will serve as our rigging scene. Now let's proceed by importing the model into this newly created rigging scene. You might be wondering about the reasoning behind first saving the model separately and then importing it into a new scene. The reason behind this added step is to lay the groundwork for potential model updates, which often happens in production. In the future, the model scene we've just saved can be used to create new versions. Then we can use the tool we're about to use next to replace the old model without the need to re-rig the character. However, as this is our first model version, we'll use this tool to import the model for the first time. It's also important to note that you should avoid making any alterations to the character model within this rigging scene. Instead, you should create a new version of the model scene and make your modifications there, essentially separating the modeling from the rigging. This window is the model updater. For now, we'll use it simply to import the model into our scene. We will cover how to update the model in a later tutorial. With the groundwork laid, we're prepared to create the rig. Using a preset automates the creation of nodes, attachments, and connections. We'll set all nodes to template mode to position their guides according to the character's anatomy. Each node comes with documentation, and some provide guidance on guide placement. Now, let's position the guides to match the character's anatomy. To adjust the side orientation of certain guides, you'll need to rotate the pin-shaped guide. After you have finished positioning the guides on one side, you can then mirror their positions onto the guides on the other side. Once the guides are in place, we can proceed to build the rig. Don't worry if you're uncertain about their positions. You can always go back and make adjustments. With the rig assembled, it's time to address the control sizes. To adjust the controls, we will use an attachment called Controls Shape. This attachment stores any manual modifications you make to the controls shapes, ensuring they are retained during future rig rebuilds. Attachments only affect the nodes they're applied to. Therefore, we'll need to add a Controls Shape attachment to all nodes. We can accomplish this by selecting the nodes and using the batch menu. For convenience, you can scale all controls or selected controls using the slider in the helper tools. Once satisfied with the control scale, remember to save your changes. Now that the controls are ready, we just need to bind the geometry to the rig. Use Arise Skin selected, which binds to the appropriate skinning joints and will remove any skinning options that are not supported. The default settings also make weight blocking, a topic covered in the next tutorial, much easier. Remember, you can always go back and adjust the guide's positions and attributes without losing your skinning. In the next tutorial, we will guide new riggers through the process of skinning in Maya.